Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been forever since I've filmed. I feel like I kind of took a break from booktube in May, but I really didn't. Anyway, today's video is going to be it's going to be a May wrap up leading into my June TBR, because I didn't read very many books in May that I just kind of want to put it all together. There's no point in making a video that features 3 books. So the first 2 books in May that I read were Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, and these were the second and third books in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. If you missed it, I have an entire review up on them and kind of my thoughts overall of the series. I gave each of these 4 stars. They didn't blow me away, but I very much enjoyed them. There was a little bit in this one that I wish would have gone a little differently, but it is what it is. Really enjoyed it. Shadow and Bone is a Russian-inspired young adult series, and it features these people called the Grisha who have powers that are able to manipulate certain elements. The main character is a young female orphan, and she has a very rare power that can be used to destroy a darkness that has settled in the land. So it follows her, and as she tries to learn about her power and kind of help bring her country back together again. There are some great side characters in these. The villain is fantastic, and there is a best friend that I kind of went up and down with him. Liked him, I didn't like him, and I liked him again. Overall, I would highly recommend these books if you haven't checked them out already. They've been around since like 2014. Okay, so the third book that I read in May was Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This book came out in May. It came out May 4th, and it is a young adult adventure fantasy book. It's kind of like this ragtag group of people who get together and are trying to save their realm. There is a pirate's daughter, an assassin, an immortal, a squire, a witch. There's just a bunch of really cool people in it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, let's not eat the Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh. I gave this book 3.5 stars. It wasn't my favorite, but it's going to be a trilogy, and so I'm hoping that the second and third book will make up for this one. I feel like the pacing was kind of slow, and I don't know. The story itself I think is going to be awesome. I just felt like it moved really slowly. But there are multiple POVs in this. I think you get about 6 different POVs, and for that reason alone, I absolutely enjoyed it. So that was Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. So I did start another book in May. I'm still currently reading it, and that is Dumbledore, The Life and Lies of Hogwarts' Renowned Headmaster. An unofficial exploration by, I don't know how to say his name, Irvin Khaytman. I'm not sure. But this is a really, really interesting book. It goes through kind of some ideas and theories about Dumbledore's, like, what was going through his mind as he's helping raise Harry to basically defeat Lord Voldemort. So it's really cool the way it's set up. There are chapters, and it's like the first chapter is Dumbledore and the Sorcerer's Stone, and then it goes to like in the Chamber of Secrets. So instead of Harry Potter, it's Dumbledore, and I really like that. I've really only read the first chapter, but I really, really, really enjoy this kind of deep dive character analysis of Dumbledore and what was happening behind the scenes that we didn't get to see throughout the Harry Potter books. And I think it's really, really interesting, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I would highly recommend this if you're really into Harry Potter and just kind of want some more stuff. This is just an independent author. And yeah, I think he used to work for MuggleNet, possibly. I don't remember. But I really enjoy it. So that's what I'm working on right now. And that's what the first book I'm going to be reading in June. Technically, I guess. Okay. So now officially my June TBR. The first book I'm going to read after Dumbledore is The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. And that is specifically because my neighbor let me borrow it. And I'm actually very excited. I know I'm going to sob. I've heard But I'm really excited, and I think this is set in World War II. You guys know I love those books, so I'm really excited to actually hop right into this and read it. This will be the first Kristin Hannah book that I've read, so I'm really looking forward to that. Dude, your bone is right here. Take that. So after the Nightingale, I want to read Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. This is a Star Wars book. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, and the podcasts that I listen to are very nerdy. So with Harry Potter, I listen to Swish and Flick, my all-time favorite podcast. They are fantastic. If you love Harry Potter and you like book club style things, go check them out. The hosts are hilarious, and they're actually who inspired me to pick up this book. And there's also a Snape book that I really want to pick up that they have inspired me to read. I also listen to a couple Star Wars podcasts. I listen to Hyperspace Hangout, and I also listen to the Padawan Transmissions. And the hosts of the Padawan Transmissions are actually two of the Swish and Flick hosts. And they have inspired me to read this and get into these Star Wars books. I know there are so many Star Wars books out there. But I think this is a good one to start with. And it's basically just about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and I'm so excited about it. So this will be a book that I dive into right away in June. June is going to be kind of a nerdy month for me. I'm just really excited. I'm going to read that one. And finally, the last books that I'm going to get to in June. Because, the way May went, I didn't get to read much. And the way June is going, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to read either. But the last few books I'm going to try to get to is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I am actually so excited. I've been finally kind of getting that itch to read these. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. This is all three of them in one. And I think that's one reason I haven't ever finished it, is because I don't necessarily love when they're all in one book, because it just seems so daunting, and it's nice to get to the end of a book and have it closed and put it away and then grab the next one. Whereas when you're reading 3 in 1, you just keep going and it just seems to drag on. And I think that's one reason I just haven't really read it much. I keep opening this and I have a bookmark and I got to page 130. So I'm going to completely start over. And I'm actually just super excited. I don't know if I'll read The Hobbit or not. I might. I have a couple copies of The Hobbit, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm excited. There is a chance that as I read this, I'm also going to start listening to another podcast called Up Talk and Tolkien by one of the hosts of Hyperspace Hangout. He does so many podcasts. He's got a Game of Thrones podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. So if you're interested in any of those, I'll list all the podcasts below, because honestly, if you guys are podcast fans and you guys like the nerdy stuff like I do, check them out. They're a blast. So these are all of the books that I plan on reading in June. So it's technically 6. It's technically 6 books. We're going to see if I can get to them. That's twice as many books as I read this month. But it's okay. I'm kind of sad with how many books that I was only able to read in May, but it is what it is. Life happened. I just didn't have the time. And I was still able to read 3 books. So I am still on track for my 50 book goal. So that's all that matters. I've been kind of doing a little bit of a more mood reading versus being okay, I have to read this, this, and this. Which I think might be a little bit why I have been reading a little slower, is because sometimes when I mood read, it's just too, I don't know. I never know what I'm in the mood for. I don't know. We're going to see. I'm excited. It's great. Let me know what you guys are reading in June. Are you guys doing some rereads? Are you getting some new releases, some new books that you've never gotten into? Are you doing more nerdy stuff? Are you trying new stuff? I'm definitely going down the nerdy path and this nostalgia path, and I am absolutely okay with it. That's my genre. That's my brand. Absolutely love it. So I hope you guys had a great May, and I look forward to seeing what you guys are doing in June. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!